Hi, I'm Dr. Margreet Wibbeling, midwife specialist and your host of the Birth and Baby show, brought to you by Sister Lillian Center and Sensitive Midwifery. We empower moms and midwives to have the best birthing and parenting experience through natural, physiological and intuitive care, resulting in birth and baby advice you can trust. Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Birth and Baby Advice You Can Trust show. And as you can see, we're back with a brand new mother. She's got a 3 weeks old baby that stayed at home because she wants to focus on the story. This episode is sponsored by Crash Guard. A balanced diet containing essential vitamins and minerals is important for the growth and development of your children. Our Crash Guard Immune Multivit Syrup is a multivitamin and mineral supplement specifically formulated to give your child's body the right nutrition at the right levels every day. The Crash Guard Immune Multivit Syrup is an ideal supplement for fussy eaters who might not be getting all of the important vitamins and minerals from their diet. Now, for children, there is no time to be sick. They want to play games, see their friends, and have lots of fun. But kids have a sharing, caring nature and tend to share their germs with everyone around them. Crash Guard offers nutritional daily supplements to help support your child's immunity so they and the whole family can stay healthy too. You can get your hands on Crash Guard Immune Multivit Syrup at Clicks, Discam, independent pharmacies and selected stores. Thank you, Crash Guard, for keeping our kids healthy. Welcome, Elani.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to dive in there. So we're busy with a series on birth stories, but when things don't go as planned. So you probably will figure out that things didn't all go as planned.
No, definitely not.
So Elani, how did you give birth?
Well, I ended up wanting a natural birth.
Yeah.
That was my biggest heart's desire, is to have a natural birth.
Yes.
And ended up with a cesarean.
So you had a cesarean section birth,
C-section,
right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's start from the beginning. So you were pregnant for the first time.
Yes.
And
yes.
what did you think of?
I had a really great pregnancy, where everything went really well. Baby was healthy, placenta was healthy, everything was really healthy. And then until 48 weeks, then things started going a little haywire. The doctor did a pelvic exam and he said to me, listen, your pelvis is too small. I can't see how you're going to get a 3.8 kg baby out, And then it was so disappointing, it was really, you don't think about it, but at that point, it's like your heart just sinks, And I said to him, really, he said, yeah. And he said, we can wait another week, to check it again and decide what we want to do then. And then I said, yes, let's do that. So I went home and I just really think about it. I did my research on it and and then I contact you at that point and everything just, it was just an emotional roller coaster week for me.
Yeah.
And then I decided to still go ahead and tell him that I want to do the natural birth. Yeah. I just had so much peace in my heart about it. I had no peace about going the cesarean route at all. So the following week we went to him and I said to him, listen here, I'm not going to do the cesarean. I'm going to continue with the natural birth. So he looked at me and he said, okay. And then next sentence he said, but we have to induce at 40 weeks. I said, oh. I said, 40? Why not 41? I wanted to say 42, but then I thought we'll work on it slowly.
Right.
And then, and then at 40, and I said, okay. And then I said 41 weeks. So we went home and in the meantime, I was hoping that labor will start happening at that point, so I can avoid that whole induction thing. And so we ended up, and 3 days later, I started having symptoms. So the Wednesday, I started having all these Braxton Hicks contractions all the time, like throughout the day, but it's more consistent throughout the day, but it wasn't painful. So I didn't think much of it. And then the following day, I started having more signs. And so it happened over a few days.
Yes.
And then I started getting all confused of, okay, is something happening now or not? You know?
So it was a very slow, niggly process. Yeah.
Yes. And then in the evenings, I would get these contractions, but only pain in my lower pelvis area. And I would think to myself, is this it? And I will try and time the contractions, but nothing seems to be consistent for me. And I ended up, that's where I contact you again and said, listen, I need to come see you. I don't know what is going on.
Yeah.
So I ended up seeing you, and that's when you checked and said, listen, you are already 3.5-4 centimeters, and I thought, okay. And then and I'm fully effaced also. So I decided, and so we were saying, am I going to go home and just labor throughout the night, or because I had an appointment the next morning again with my gynecologist. So we decided I was going to go. So we labored throughout the night, just at home, trying to get some rest, which was very difficult at that point.
Yes.
With all these pain and contractions happening. And the next morning we woke up and had our bags packed, and then we left. So I caught my gynecologist actually in the hallway at the hospital on the way to his office. And he said, oh, how's it going? I say to him, well, I think I'm kind of in labor. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, I got checked last night. I said, and I was 3.5-4 centimeters already. He said to me, looked at me, he said, and why didn't you come through last night? He said, you are in active labor. I said, well, the contractions wasn't as strong as, and consistent as I think they should be. And I didn't feel them like everybody say you should feel them in the back and all around. It was just a specific spot.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he said to me, just go straight up to labor ward now. Yes. So we moved up to labor ward, and he came to check me later again, and then it was 5 centimeters already, which I was glad that I went through the night at home, because, I think I would have probably either be induced, or if I went the evening, or just been having to lie there for no reason.
Yes.
So he came and checked, and I was 5 centimeters, and then he looked at me, he said, well, you're still really narrow, and it doesn't look like baby really dropped down into a pelvis yet. So he said, but you'll come back later and check on me again. So he did. About 10:30 or so, he came back, because we went in at 7:45. And then he came back and he checked again, and he said there's no progress. And at that point, I was already like a 6 centimeter dilated. So I was dilating very slowly as well, where you should be 1 centimeter about an hour.
At that stage, yes.
And I wasn't. And so he said to me, he did a sonar to check what was going on, an ultrasound. And he said the baby's head was tilted upwards and wasn't tucked in,
Deflected,
so she couldn't turn into the pelvis. And so I said, well, luckily I had a nurse at that point that was very amazing. Honestly, she was amazing, and she just really advocated for me. And she said to him, well, I really wanted to have a natural birth. Can you give us some time, and she'll try different positions and see if baby gets engaged. And he looked and he said, okay. And he left. And then 2 hours later, he came back and checked again. And still nothing. No change. And at that point, they broke my water at 6 centimeters to see if, to progress, to make things move a little faster.
Yes.
And then at that point, he said to me, there's still no engagement from the baby. Yeah. And the nurse said, well, can't we have 2 more hours?
Aww,
you
guys went all
because
the way.
The baby was really happy still. I was still doing fine without medication. I didn't take anything at that point. And he said, you could see he was a little hesitant, but he said, okay.
Wow.
And then he gave us even more time because he only came back after 5 that evening. And by the time he came back, I was almost 9 centimeters.
Really, eh?
And still no change from baby.
Sure.
So he looked at me, he said, listen, it's time.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening. Baby's not engaging. You're almost a full 10 centimeters. And I looked at my husband and we looked at each other and I said, okay, so we decided to, for the sake of baby and me, at that stage,
I'm sure
that we were going to move forward with the C-section.
Wow.
So, yeah, and then baby was within an hour almost.
Yes, then it happens fast.
Very fast, yeah.
Wow. Sure, what a story, eh?
Yeah, it was a roller coaster day, having to labor for so long.
So long, yeah.
And then still going through a emergency C-section.
As well, yeah.
I could really feel my body felt it the next day.
Absolutely, you've had the worst.
So, but everything went well and I'm just glad everybody's healthy. And
looking back at it, you would have done it again?
I would. Yes, I would definitely. I definitely don't regret at all that I tried for natural. Allow my body to do what it needed to do to give it that chance.
Yes.
And I don't think it had anything to do with my pelvis, to be honest. I never knew if my pelvis was too small or not.
Yeah.
But, I think it was more with how baby was positioned.
Yeah, the deflection of the head.
Yes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. No, but as a midwife, I see so many things in your story, and as much as midwives and as mommies, we want a natural birth so much. I think your story is the most frustrating story, I hate it when it happens, but it does happen sometimes.
I know, because everything went actually so well.
Yes.
Until that point.
Yeah. It went well, but also something tells me in your story that it was slow from the start. And then when things are that slow from the start, you always start questioning the application of the baby and on the cervix. So we were already aware. Why was your preamble so slow? But yet amazing that you gave it your all, because sometimes you just need something to happen for the baby to turn.
Yes.
And then it happens. And well done for that doctor to just give you all that time, and the midwife to be so with you on it.
She was great.
Yes.
Really, the staff was amazing. She was really advocating for me.
So you felt very heard in this whole process, and acknowledged. That is amazing. So at the end of the day, you had a good experience, even though it didn't go as planned.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Also the other not nice thing of your story, and that is all, you don't wish it on anyone, but you had the hard side of both sides. Like you had all the pain and the hard work before the time.
Exactly.
Which normally the benefit is that you have it easy afterwards. And now you also had a recovery office.
For me, the thing about the C-section was, I really wanted to, hear my baby cry and have my baby on my chest, where I feel like C-sections sometimes break that connection a little bit.
Yes.
But they were so great with with that,
Facilitating
yeah,
the bonding and
yes, yeah.
How did that happen? How did the Caesar experience happen for you?
I was lying there, and obviously you feel the pressure happening, and then the next moment I just felt like this relief, like this weight lifted, and I looked at my husband and I said to him, "She's out," before she even cried or anything. And then I heard the suction, and then I heard the crying.
Yeah,
and it's like that moment, like tears just fill your eyes, like with the joy of just hearing her.
Yeah.
And then they immediately just wrapped her up and put her on my chest like they would.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you had that skin to skin.
Yes. And even in the hospital, they were so great. They encouraged skin to skin all night.
Amazing.
So.
Yeah, well done for that hospital.
No, they did really well.
Yeah, that makes me really proud.
Yeah.
Sure. And in the end of a journey like yours, you would do anything to get that baby out, eh? You're so
thing.
ready to whatever needs to happen.
That's the thing.
You've given it your all.
Exactly. Like, especially that last week,
Yeah.
It's like, come on, just get on now.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, but your patience was really tested.
So, yeah. No.
Yeah, well done, hey. Well done. And then how did life after birth happen for you?
It was challenging at times, The hospital, like I say, they encourage skin to skin all night, which was quite challenging because you can't feel your legs quite yet. The pain and stuff is coming back from this C-section.
Yes.
And you sit with your baby, and now you have to breastfeed. They don't want to put you up too high because they're afraid you're going to get a spinal headache.
Yeah.
So it was challenging throughout the night, trying to breastfeed and turn her with feeling so uncomfortable.
Yes.
But we got through that, and the next day they got me up and about, and it started becoming a little easier, and and being home was great. It was always good going home, and the first few nights was definitely a few sleepless nights. It was like she turned the day and nights around a bit. So at night she will be wake all night.
Why do babies do that, eh?
So, but eventually I got her to
change.
Yes, to change. So it's a bit better now.
Sure. Well, wow. And looking back at everything, and also your preparation for birth, and looking now back at your journey, I'm sure you've learned a lot. And what would you like the moms and the dads that are listening and looking to know? Is there anything you would like to share from your experience?
Well, I would definitely say that, pursue your birth plan, an advocate for that, and find someone to advocate for you. Like I had a nurse, but don't cling to it so much that you can put yourself and your baby at risk.
Yes.
Be willing to compromise when you need to compromise.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it's more important for mom to be healthy and baby to be healthy than to just want to accomplish and fulfill your birth plan.
So true. Yes. So you can have your plan, but then in the end you see where this train is going to go.
Yes.
Yes. Thanks for sharing your story and coming
welcome.
in. I know it's a challenge with a small newborn to come out and to even look the part.
It was nice to have an hour break though.
Have a break. we can hang out a bit longer.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that was us for today. I'm sure you picked up a few pearls in this amazing story. Make sure that you are empowered and that you get the right caregivers around you. That practice evidence-based practice. We really need that. Yeah. There's enough evidence for everything we've said in this story. Yeah. So that was us. See you next time. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you enjoyed this video, please share this with a friend who will benefit from this. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you can be notified whenever we release new videos like this on our channel. We'd love to stay in touch and keep you updated with all our latest content. and resources to equip and empower you. So if you're a midwife or any type of birth and baby worker, go to sensitivemidwifery.co.za/free gift. If you're a mom, visit sisterlillian.co.za/free gift for more training and resources. That way we can keep you up to date when we release new episodes like this, plus a few other bonuses. You can also find the links I just mentioned in the show notes. Remember, you're making a big difference because you are shaping the future of humankind. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to journeying with you. Pregnancy is a time of great change and excitement, but it can also be a time of uncertainty. The Sister Lillian Center Essential Antenatal course will help you journey through your pregnancy better by arming you with the information you need to make informed choices about your health and well-being so you can have a healthy pregnancy experience and make the right choices for your birth. Click the link in the show notes or visit sisterlillian.co.za/pregnancy to find out more about this invaluable course. And hey, if you're enjoying the content, remember to share this with a fellow mommy or friend.